For the Wisconsin ATV-UTV Association, I'm Adam Harden, and I'm up here at Dunbar, and we're going to be talking about groomers today.
My name is Pat Malarkey, and I'm with the Dungood Riders from Dunbar, Goodman area in northeastern Wisconsin.
And we're going to go out grooming today. Can you tell us a little bit about your grooming operations?
Sure. We're an all year round club, so we groom both snow and dirt. We groom approximately 6 times a week in the winter time, and we groom about 3 times a week in the summertime, and that's every week. And we use tired tractors, tractors with tires on them, and we've got converted snow drags that we use for dirt. We also use a soil processor and a grader depending on dirt conditions.
How many hours a week do you spend grooming? I know you said how many days, but how many hours during the day do you spend?
I would say on an average we probably do about 20 to 25 hours a week in the summertime, and in the winter time we probably have about 50 hours a week.
Now, do you get paid for doing this?
Oh yes, yeah. Both the snowmobile and ATV program pays us for the hours that we're out there.
Does that money stay in the club then, or do you split it between yourself and the club?
No, all of the workers in our club are volunteers, so nobody is paid for any of the work that they do. All the money stays with the club, and what we do is we use that for our fuel, our insurance, our building, to replace the equipment, so it's all used within the club.
All right, so we're going to talk about the tractor and the groomer. Why don't you go ahead and let's just walk through the equipment we'll be using today.
Okay, this particular tractor is a John Deere from Riester and Schnell. It's a 210R. We have this tractor on lease. We've got a 400-hour lease on it yearly, and then every year we get a brand new tractor through Riester and Schnell, so it works out real well for us. We use the high flotation tires on the tractor with low pressure. You can see that the tires themselves are fairly low. Gives us great traction and everything. Then the drag that we use is a modified. This one happens to be a Snow Boss drag from Doug Olson in Saint Germain, and what we do is we put a extra plate on the bottom of the side rails, and we also put extra plates in the pan on the drag, and we use that. It just does a real nice job of flattening out the trails. Like I said before, we also have over on the side there is a pull behind grader. That's used for if we have big berms on the side and everything. It really knocks those down.
So, but you have more inside.
Oh yeah. We have outside is our other tractor and drag, our New Holland. Then we also have our dump truck and our trailer for transporting the equipment to the job sites and stuff, and hauling in gravel and that. Inside, then what we have is our backhoe is in here. That's something that we just purchased this last year for digging the rocks and things out of the trail and redoing the trail system. So now we have a decent sized backhoe to do that. This is the heated portion of our building where we do our maintenance, and the groomers are held during the winter time inside the building to make sure that they're all free of snow and ice and everything. They're warm when the drivers come to pick them up. So this part is heated to about 55 degrees in the winter time, and it's a nice place to do our repair work. And then in our storage area, we have our shirt track groomer. which is a track groomer, a New Holland tractor that's been modified for with tracks on it. That's for areas in the trail where it's hard for the rubber tired tractors to go up. There's only a couple places on our trail, and it also is used for when we have extreme snowfalls of anywhere from 8 to 12, 13 inches, something like that. We go out and pack the trail with this before the rubber tired tractors come out. Then we have our track skid steer that we use for just a tremendous amount of work on the trail system. Next to that is our brusher that fits on the back of the tractor, either of the tractors out there. We have attachments for the skid steer, which is a snow pusher for doing our park and ride, a rock bucket for doing the dirt work and picking rocks, the regular bucket. We have a water wagon that we have for dust control that we mix with water and calcium chloride for the trail system in the sensitive areas. And then the last thing that we have in here is our chipper that we use for all the areas that we clean up the trail. What we do is we chip the trees that are down and branches and that, and we blow the chips right back onto the trail system again. The wood chips help hold some moisture on the trail and help cut down on the dust a little bit.
So you were telling me before that you benefit from the ATV and the snow program being a joint club, and this is one of the perks of it, is being able to have the equipment that works on both sides.
Yeah, without being a combined club, what we do is we draw maintenance money from both sides, both the ATV and the snowmobile. Without being a combined club, I don't think we could afford equipment like this. So that's one of the advantages that we have over some of the other clubs.
And you were telling me a little bit in the groomer, how many miles do you groom winter and summer?
We have just under 100 miles of trail of both snowmobile and ATV that we groom. It's a year-round period that we do grooming, and the only time that our trail system is actually closed is for the month of April, which is for spring breakup. The county closes our trail system down for the snow that melts and things like that. It's usually during the time that the weight limits are on the roads for spring breakup also.
And do you have a favorite piece of equipment you like to operate out of all this?
No. I pretty much enjoy doing any of the equipment. The John Deere that we were in earlier, that's a nice piece of equipment. It's extremely quiet, very smooth. The New Holland that we have outside is nice and smooth. They're all pretty much have equipment in them that are geared for the drivers. They both have climate control systems in them, air conditioning, heat. So they're pretty nice units.
And how long have you been grooming for the club?
I've been actually grooming for three different clubs, probably for over 25 years now, combined for all the different clubs in that. I've been grooming for the Done Good Riders from the day I started with the club. But I had background of grooming for other clubs also. So, okay, what the Done Good Riders does for the summertime is right now we've got a summer-long poker run that we have, where we have about 30-35 stops, I think it is, to visit the different businesses and get your book stamped and everything. And then there's prizes for the different hands that you get and things like that. We'd appreciate it if maybe you'd be interested in that. And this culminates into at the poker hands and the books are are turned in at our open house, which is the last Saturday in September every year. And we have a big open house and food and beverages, and our raffle drawing for our side-by-side is drawn at that time. So we'd love to have everybody come up here and visit us sometime.
What is your favorite aspect of grooming?
Oh man, I got quite a few, to tell you the truth. I enjoy. Our club has got extremely nice equipment. We try to turn our equipment over. This one's turned over every year, this particular tractor. The remainder of the equipment gets turned over about every 4 years or so. So our equipment is generally always in warranty. It's always in pretty good shape, and it's always some of the latest equipment that's out there. So if you enjoy being out in the woods, take a ride in a tractor sometime and start grooming, and you really enjoy it. You see the deer, you see the bear, you see a lot of the animals and things like that. I get a lot of satisfaction out of making the trails smooth so people can ride on them and stuff. So I enjoy the grooming aspect of it.
While you're grooming, obviously you're retired. You know, you've been mentioning that you're seeing more and more riders during the week, but a lot of it too is you're probably out here by yourself. You know, you see them every now and then, but it's almost peaceful.
we've got just under 100 miles of trail, and with that 100 miles of trail, sometimes you're out here. There may be 100 ATVers out there, and you never see them because they're not in the same place you are in that. But we're starting to see more and more of the retired people that have bought side-by-sides that are now out riding and enjoying the outdoors, where they probably wouldn't have done that otherwise, you know. And they try to do it probably during the week when the traffic isn't as high on the trails and that. So we're seeing a lot more older people, couples that are out here, and generally on side-by-sides.
So have you seen a big boom in UTVs up here?
Very much so. Very much so.
Have you had any problems with them working with the ATVs or just on the trails?
No. I think some of the first differences that we've seen with the UTVs is that they became a little more popular in the wintertime. When we had some low snow years, all of a sudden we started seeing more ATVs and UTVs. Now a UTV is probably a little warmer to ride in the wintertime than an ATV. ATV doesn't really have the protection, you know, the windshield or just covering up your legs and stuff like that. So we started seeing more and more ATVs and UTVs in the wintertime, and probably more UTVs than ATVs, and that has grown quite a bit. More and more people are actually probably forgetting about the snowmobile aspect of it and have gone to year-round ATV.
Just bought a Polaris Ranger crew cab, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Retired my Sportsman, my Polaris Sportsman, and went to a crew cab Ranger, and really excited about trying it out this winter and everything. I'm also a snowmobiler, not so much the conventional snowmobiling, but the vintage snowmobiling. We're big time into vintage snowmobiling, me and my wife, but we're gonna try the UTV in the wintertime also. The Den Good Riders started out, actually it was the Dunbar Sportsman's Club that started the snowmobile aspect of it. We were strictly a snowmobile club when it first started, and Goodman was strictly an ATV club. What we did is the Sportsman's Club, when it got to be more and more involved with the snowmobiling aspect of it, they got out and we formed actually a snowmobile club that was called the that was called the Dunbar Riders, and we incorporated with Goodman and became a snowmobile ATV club in the very early part of snowmobiling, or very early part of ATVing. We incorporated the ATV trails in Goodman into snowmobile trails, and we incorporated the snowmobile trails in Dunbar into ATV trails, and that's how we got together. And we changed the name of the club then from the Dungood Riders, or from the Dunbar Riders and Dunbar Sportsman's Club to the Dungood Riders, which is a combination of Dunbar and Goodman in the name. So we've been around for quite a while, both with snowmobiling and ATV.
How many members do you guys have?
Right now, I think we probably have about 300 members, which that would probably increase quite a bit now with the new AWSC registration that's coming up now, where if you're a member of a club, you'll get a discount on your snowmobile registration. We're already starting to see some increases in snowmobile applications for memberships now.
So I'm riding with Pat here, and he gave the good idea of letting me drive or operate this groomer. I don't think Pat knows my history with operating large equipment. I've broken a few pieces. I'm just kidding. I used to operate, we had a Massey Ferguson when we were doing grooming work with Nortec and building our Super Challenge tracks. But operating a groomer for a club is a great way to get involved and a great way to help support the trail systems around. And it's volunteer work, but this is great work. And obviously we have a really nice tractor here where we have climate control and radio, surround sound. Where's the TV though? I don't see the TV. We're working on that, but this is a great way, a great opportunity to help the clubs and to support our sport, and really get out there and work with the trail. So great experience, and I do want to thank the Dungood Club and Pat and everyone involved here for letting me operate it, because this is fun. You know, I think I found my retirement job. So yeah, so this is going to conclude to this episode of Trail Tales TV, and for the Wisconsin ATV UTV Association, I'm Adam Harden, and don't mess up this trail, because I just put a lot of work into this. For the Wisconsin ATV UTV Association, I'm Adam Harden, and For the Wisconsin ATV UTV Association, I'm Adam Harden, and I'm up in Dunbar for the Dungood Club. We're going to be rehearsing this. For the Wisconsin ATV UTV Association, I'm Adam Harden, and I'm up here at Dunbar